We have today among us Dr. Kumar Susil, a reputed professor, and I also welcome Arun Kumar Bhagat, who is Dean of the Department of Media Studies, and Professor Anjani Kumar, who is Associate Professor. Now I summarize the lecture that is about literature, history, and theory. We know history and theory always work side and side, but most of the time theory is neglected. We find all the time Karl Marx Manifesto, Aristotle's Poetics, all are combined and seen in the light of theory always. But these theory never fulfill some demands, either these are related to history or not. We have Ambedkar among us who is giving different kind of writing in which we have history and literature, but what he rejected is theory. That theory is very separate. That is why the charge of Marxist is that history should be studied separately and there should be no space to literature. That remains the problem. If history is studied without literature or vice versa, then most of the things are left. There is a gap in between, and this lecture is dedicated to this gap. And Professor Kumar Susil will try to fill up the gap. And now I will give mic to Professor Arun Bhagat to please invite and ask Kumar Susil to open the lecture. To Professor Arun Bhagat.
ये बहुत ही प्रशंसनीय है, महत्वपूर्ण है कि आज जिस विषय पर चर्चा के लिए कुमार सुशील जी को आमंत्रित किया गया है वह अनेक दृष्टिकोण से महत्वपूर्ण है। मैं इसके पहले कि सुशील जी को आमंत्रित करूं, धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करता हूं आज के इस कार्यक्रम में शामिल सभी प्रतिभागियों का और विशेष रूप से बिमलेश जी का कि उन्होंने मुझे इस कार्यक्रम के लिए आमंत्रित किया। मैं सीधे कुमार सुशील जी को आमंत्रित करता हूं और उम्मीद करता हूं कि विद्यार्थियों की जिज्ञासाओं की भी पूर्ति वो करेंगे। धन्यवाद।
Hello, should I begin?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. First of all, Professor Arun Kumar Bhagat, इतनी अच्छी हिंदी सुन के मेरा तो आज का दिन सफल हो गया। बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूं मैं। एंड co-chair Dr. Anjani Kumar Shrivastava, Associate Professor, Department of Hindi, Dr. Bimlesh K. Singh, Head and Associate Professor, Department of English, Mr. Deepak and other faculty members, students and research scholars, BA students. First of all, thank you very much. I feel obliged. You gave me the opportunity to discuss my views, to share my views with you people. And it is really a great opportunity for me. Because at this juncture, you are, providing such a platform in which we are, passing through the period of lockdown, pandemic crisis, and it suggests that even in the time of crisis, we are capable and we are, able to create such kind of dialogue, discussion, and debate. And we can do something constructive and creative in the time of difficult times, in the time of pandemics. And because this is the the responsibility of the universities, university teachers and universities, they are having main three kind of works. First is related with teaching, second is related with research, and third is related with social extension. In social extension, we go to the society, we try to learn from the society, as well as we try to lead, get some lead from the societies, and we also provide some insights to the societies. So I am very happy that Central University is doing such a wonderful job. And the creating a dialogue, it is very, very significant. Yeah, and it is more significant when it is difficult time passing through. Like Amartya Sen wrote in his book The Argumentative Indian, that this is the characteristic of Indian, that we can we can create we can create dialogue. We are argumentative Indians, and he suggests that that we should not lost this capability and capacity. And also, I'm from Punjab, and Baba Nanak, which birth year we celebrated last year, 550th years, and he said that "Jab lag duniya rahiye Nanak, kuj suniye kuj kahiye." It means till we are alive, let us say something and let's listen something. First, let's listen something and let's say something. So in a way, you are created such kind of opportunity to discuss, especially in the time, although we are passing through the difficult times and it will pass on very soon. And as this century, 21st century, which is named by the famous historian Eric Hobsbawm, that this is the century of knowledge. At the same time, he named 20th century as the century of bloodshed because of world wars. And he give the name of this century as a century of knowledge. So when the knowledge is increasing day by day, so we are able to share our views with each other. And I am sitting in Punjab, you are sitting in Bihar, and it is really I think antidote to all kind of crisis. Rather, this is only such kind of antidote to, or we are countering that that kind of crisis in a way. So before beginning the lecture, let me salute this land, the land of Gautam Buddha, and also the soil of Nalanda University, ancient Nalanda University, which is the landmark of Indian knowledge system. And it is this university is the symbol and pride for India, not only for knowledge dissemination, but also for the knowledge dissemination. And also, I wish to remind the role of Motihari in freedom struggle. And I was also told that Orwell, a famous English writer, who is famous, we all know, for Animal Farm and for 1984, he was born here on this earth. And most significantly, I must not forget this land, because this land, your land, provided Punjab a very, very noble soul who is known for sacrifice, who is very intelligent scholar, and who is known as Saint Soldier, and who sacrificed his whole family and himself for the betterment of society. I mean to say Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh was born in Patna in 1660. So, so let me start my lecture. That I have divided my lecture into 3 parts, broad parts. And before beginning the lecture, I also humbly accept that I'm not going to tell you any new thing or the thing which you don't know already. But my work is here, centered to the students, junior students, that I'm just reminding you, which you already know, because the very simple issue like literature, history, literary theory, and we are all familiar with all these issues. But I have, divided my lecture into 3 parts. In the first part, we will discuss that what is literature. In the second part, how it is different from other disciplines like history. But let me make you very clear that we are not going to create any hierarchy that literature is superior, history is inferior, or history is superior. All disciplines are unique and complementary to each other. And I do not believe any kind of compartmentalization in knowledge discipline. In third part of my lecture, I will try to discuss about literary theory and literature. Although the the issues or the concept which I have taken, they are very broad. So the journal definitions, it is very difficult, or I will say there are no journal definitions. So I will try to pick and choose some issues, some of the points on that. So with the permission of the chair, I wish to begin with my first part, that what is literature. Literature is, as we all know, that it is nothing but the representation of human behavior. And when we are talking about literature, because as I said, that literature is the representation of human behavior. So literature is something that is very, very interconnected and correlated with human. So whenever I am talking about literature, I am also talking about human beings, because literature, literary theory, they are interconnected subject. History, they are interconnected subjects. So when they are not away from human being, rather their center point is human. So whenever in the further coming lecture, I will discuss literature or literary theory or history, it doesn't mean that I am not talking to human beings, or means I'm talking about human beings. So all these things, they are very, very deeply related with human beings. So they are the one or other part of the same coin. So literature, we can say, is the artistic record of life, and it appeals to our emotion, imagination, as well as to our intellect. And literature always touches the universal issues like love, hate, joy, sorrow, pain, fear, faith, which are very essential for our human life. Rather, they are part and parcel of our human nature. Without them, without love, without happiness, without sadness, our life is means I can say it is worthless. So when we talk about Hindi, as the scholar head of the department is sitting here, but I dare to say that that in Hindi we say Sahitya. Sahitya means Sahit. If I will wrong, please correct me in the end of the lecture, sir. Sahitya means Sahit, means the welfare of everybody in the literature. So in literature, we have poetry, drama, novel, and in Indian context, it is said that a person who has no interest in literature, music, art, is like a real animal without tail and horns. So literature is the part and parcel of human being. So we can say that literature is a written document such as poetry, novel, essay, etc., especially the work of imagination. So one issue is also attached to literature, that is imagination, characterized by excellence of style and expression by the theme of general interest. So we all know that literature is a cultural category, and it has multiple perspectives, and there are various definitions. Every person can have his or her own definitions. So it is very difficult to have a set definition. As S.T. Coleridge tries to attempts to define that prose where words in best order is it best words in best order. In 19th century, French scholar Victor Cousin divided literature into parts, that one part is art for art's sake, and second is later attached that art for life. So there are two schools in literature, broadly we can say. But art for life sake, the famous school, which is most of the writers Russian, and I wish to quote from Maxim Gorky, who gave the definition of literature. According to him, if any piece of writing does not polemically critique state, religion, gender, I do not consider that piece of writing as a literature. So he categorized, he put three conditions for literature. One is to critique state, second is to critique regimented religion, third is to gender question. So if any piece of writing does not critique all these three issues, Gorky doesn't consider that piece of writing as a piece of literature. And dear friends, if we talk from Indian context, we can attach one more thing. No, that is the caste question. So in Indian context, we can say that there are four issues which literature must deal or polemically critique, which are: number one, state; number two, religion; number three, gender question; and number four, caste discrimination. So any piece of writing, if does not deal with all these four issues, I repeat, caste, gender question, regimented religion, and state. And also Maxim Gorky said that literature is the mirror of society. And one more thing that is very, very significant in the piece of literature, that is resistance. As we all know that resistance is the part and parcel of literature, and especially Indian literature. In colonial period, literature played a very significant role in anti-colonial struggle, and during the time of emergency, literary writers, they played a very significant role. Even many every difficult times, literary persons or writers, they resist very strongly in their writings. And we can take the recent example of Dalit literature, and it is the saga of resistance. And so also, I was told that students and scholars in Central University of Bihar, they are interested in Punjabi literature also. I am very happy to know that. So resistance is the part and parcel of Punjabi literature. Central point of Punjabi literature, if we want to define Punjabi literature in single word, that is resistance, and which begin right from the very beginning. Right from, we can take the example of Baba Nanak, who said that Raje si mukaddam kutte. So I wish to underline the point that when he was saying this, it was the time of Babur, and what he was saying, that Raje Singh, that the king is like a lion and their ministers, they are like dogs. So such a powerful resistance he shows. And in the later part of 20th century also, you might be familiar with the name of Avtar Pash, Lal Singh Dil, Gurshern Singh, Gurdial Singh. There are many writers who in their writing, resistance is the core point of their writing. If you allow, I wish to read a poem from Avtar Pash. You will you can sense that what type of gist it was in Punjabi literature. It was the Hindi translation of Punjabi poem Hum Ladenge Sathi. So this was the poem written by Avtar Pash in 17 and 80s. Basically, he was the poet of Naxalite time, and he wrote, I begin with the poem, हम लड़ेंगे साथी उदास मौसम के लिए, हम लड़ेंगे साथी गुलाम इच्छाओं के लिए, हम चुनेंगे साथी जिंदगी के टुकड़े, हम लड़ेंगे जब तक दुनिया में लड़ने की जरूरत बाकी है, जब बंदूक ना हुई तब तक तलवार होगी, जब तलवार ना हुई लड़ने की लगन होगी, लड़ने का ढंग ना हुआ लड़ने की जरूरत होगी, हम लड़ेंगे साथी, हम लड़ेंगे कि लड़े बगैर कुछ नहीं मिलता, हम लड़ेंगे कि अब तक लड़े क्यों नहीं, हम लड़ेंगे अपनी सजा को कबूलने के लिए, लड़ते हुए जो मर गए उनकी याद जिंदा रखने के लिए हम लड़ेंगे साथी. So this was the resistance you can sense. Second, poem I wish to share with you, that is written by Lal Singh Dill, Punjabi poet. He also belongs to the same era. He was basically Dalit, and most of his poems, they are polemically critique caste discrimination in India. So Lal Singh Dill, the title of the poem is Jaat. मुझे प्यार करने वाली पराई जात कुड़िए, हमारे सगे मुर्दे भी एक जगह नहीं जलाते. मैं दोबारा पढ़ता हूं, मुझे प्यार करने वाली पराई जात कुड़िए, हमारे सगे मुर्दे भी एक जगह नहीं जलाते. Basically in Punjab, in rural society, in one village there are 4 and 5 crimination grounds because of the caste discrimination. I think the similar condition would be there. And another writers which we can discuss, that is Shiv Kumar Batalvi, and most prominently I wish to discuss with you, that is Waris Shah's Heer. It was written in 1766. So in last years we celebrated this poem's 250th years of its publication. So it was written by Waris Shah, and Heer is the most beautiful character, one of the beautiful characters in Indian literature, and definitely it is most beautiful character in Punjabi literature. Why? Because it was not because she was beautiful, because she was intelligent. She has the power to critique. She was little bit anti-establishment. So in our Indian society, the meaning of beauty does not lie in body figure or color of your skin or what you apply on your body or on your face. Rather, it is in that how you can you speak against the cruel establishment. So this is the parameter of beauty. So Waris Shah's Heer, I wish to quote, when she declared that I wish to marry Ranja, because Ranja was a kind of worker or servant in her father's land, and when she was told by the Qazi, and Qazi was most powerful person of that time. Qazi was even can say anything to the king because he was the religious authority also. So the Qazi tried to warn Heer that you should not think like that. You should not say that I wish to marry a person who is lower in the income from your parent. What your father, the society will say. Then Heer says that Waris Shah na modangi ranjane to pame baap de baap da baap aave. So कि मैं अपने पीछे नहीं हटूंगी, मेरा बाप का बाप आ जाए चाहे. So this type of intellect she has. So this is I just wish to discuss about Punjabi literature. And one thing more, very significant value of the literature, that if you want to understand, for example, I wish to understand Bihar, I cannot understand it only by historical narrations or sociological narrations. I have to study Ramdhari Singh Dinkar, I have to study Nagarjun, I have to study other kind of piece of literature which is written in Bihar. Similarly, if you want to understand about Gurdial Singh, if you want to understand the peasantry crisis in Punjab, you have to read Gurdial Singh. Similarly, if we want to understand England of 17th century, we have to study Paradise Lost, Milton. And if we want to understand 19th century France, we have to study Madame Bovary by Gustave. If we want to understand Russia of 19th century, we have to read Dostoevsky. So literature also works as a social force, and very significant to understand the whole narrative, the whole web of the society. Literature can play a very, very significant role. As I can take the example of one more novel which is written by Maxim Gorky, Mother, and it was about before, it was written before the Russian Revolution in 1917, and Lenin said that if Gorky would have not written this novel, there could not have been the possibility of Russian Revolution. Similarly, when Marx in his young days, he tried to understand French Revolution 1798, that why this French Revolution fails, and he read many history books, many political documents, and many sociological documents, and he said that I failed to understand, and I deeply understand even only after reading Balzac's novel. Balzac is French novelist. Similar is the case with if we talk about Indian context, I wish to quote Anand Math. Anand Math was written in 1882, and Jawaharlal Nehru said that this novel is the basis of freedom which we got in 1947. So such such a value that piece of literature they have. And now I jump to the next part of my lecture, that is how literature is related with history, or how it is different from history. And we can take the very famous quote we are all familiar with, as Deepak also gave the name of Aristotle, that Aristotle tried to differentiate between history and literature. He said that the distinction between historian and poet consists really in this, that one describe the things that has been, and the other a kind of thing that might be. Hence, poetry is something more philosophical and of grave importance than history, since its statements are of nature rather of universal, whereas those of history are singulars. So we can say that history, the central point of history is facts and events and records. So most of the time history is written by history is pro-state, and history is a narrative that is written from king's point of view. And literature, on the other hand, is pro-people. Literature talk about humanity, human being. Literature talk about the pain of human being. Literature talk about the deep feelings that are inside the human beings. I wish to clear this point with the example of ancient time. Babur's time. Babur's biography is written by Abul Fazl. Uh, the name of that text is Tujhke Babri. And he wrote that Babur is very powerful. Babur can run by taking, two persons on their shoulder on the wall. He can, kill the lion. He is the greatest king. So that is, we can say, a kind of historical narrative. But at the same time, Baba Nanak was writing poetry. He wrote that Eti Mar Pai Kurlai, and I already discussed that Raje Si Mukaddam Kutte. Such a type of condition of the people here, which is written by Baba Nanak in the form of poetry. At the same time, it was completely invisible and absence in historical narratives written by the time. One more example we can take, event Anglo-Sikh War that was recorded in 19th century, 1852 roundabout, after the reign of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, and it was written by two people. One as a form of history, that is History of Sikhs, written by Joseph Cunningham. Joseph Cunningham was British historian, and similar on the fictional narrative is given by Shah Muhammad. Shah Muhammad wrote in the form of poetry Jangnama. So in History of Sikhs, Joseph Cunningham was writing that they were very, they were fighting with each other. They do not have skills. They are fighting with each other. Sikhs, they are fighting with Muslims. Muslims were fighting with Hindus. So they don't have any kind of, similarity, or they do not have any kind of harmony. At the same time, Shah Muhammad, in his piece of writing, Jangnama, it is a long poem, he said that in Punjab, there was no other Jat, Hindus and Muslims. Means they fight collectively with Britishers. Rather, he called that they fight Hindus and Sikhs, Hindus, Sikhs and Muslims, they fight with Firangis. So he was talking about, or his writing suggests conspicuously, very clearly, obviously, that in Indian context, there was no such a kind of discrimination between Hindus, Muslims and Sikhs. They were fighting collectively for Punjab. Rather, Britishers were different. We can take another colonial period history by James Mill, History of British India, in which he divided, history of British India into three parts. One is Hindu Kal, second is Muslim Kal, third is that modern phase or British phase, in which he said that in beginning, this was the Hindu phase or Hindu phase of history. Hindu kings, they were incapable, they are very, incapable and having nothing to do with modernity. Similar is the case with Muslim kings, they were fighting with each other, and so that is why we Britishers, we come here. So this is our civilizational duty to make Indian people correlate with civilization. In India, there is no India and culture, there are two different things. So we can take many examples of that kind, which literary representation is more pro people. Recent of phenomena, we can take the example of partition of India, or partition of Punjab in 1947. It was narrated by many historian and historical and journalistic writing that Hindus, they killed Hindus and Sikhs, they killed Muslims, and Muslims, they killed Hindus and Sikhs. But similarly, we can, if we take fictional narrative of Amarta Pritam, if we take the fictional narrative of Khushwant Singh Train to Pakistan, which we all are familiar, that in which he make it clear that that many Hindus and Sikhs killed by their own people while they are saving Muslims. Similarly, many Muslims are killed by many Muslims are killed by their own people while they try to save Hindus and Sikhs. So this is the true representation of society. So in Train to Pakistan, we all know that how a Sikh boy is killed by Hindus and Sikhs while he tries to save Muslim people. So that is the difference between history and literature. I also wish to talk about the contemporary scenario that this lockdown and pandemic, which remind us many pieces of writing which already discuss about that kind of crisis. Like we have a Journal of Plague Years written by Daniel Defoe, and it was written in 1664 about the plague pandemic. And he wrote that, which is in a way we can compare with the present state, that local authority, it was written in a Journal of the Plague Year, which was written in 1664 by Daniel Defoe, that local authorities in some neighborhood of London tries to make the number of plague deaths appear lower than it was by registering other, inventing disease as the recorded cause of death. That state in the beginning also they tried to shy away to accept this kind of problem. Similarly, we can take one more example of Ahmad Ali's novel Twilight in Delhi, which was written in 1940. It was about the Spanish flu of 1980. And he wrote that Delhi became a city of the dead. Of Delhi, true to tradition of the past, did not miss an opportunity of having few digs at fortune. We can take the example of Albert Camus' Plague. So that that piece of writing, when we read in present kind of crisis, however, they do not give any solution in present context, and it was rightly said by Harish Trivedi, professor from Delhi University, that literature regards each individual with compassion and goes deeper than what statics or historical records can tell us. It does become a source of consolation, a way of sharing common humanistic concern, and in its own way provides the deepest and most insightful records of things. So literature in a way gave us solace in difficult times. I wish to discuss three texts which I read recently, especially in the period of lockdown. I wish to share with you that one text is from 19th century, that is Dostoevsky's Notes from Underground, and The Life Misspent is the autobiography of Suryakant Tripathi Nirala, which is written in 20th century as a Kuli Bhat, and it was translated in English. And one novel that is written in 21st century, So All Is Peace, written by Vandana Lal Singh. So I begin with Dostoevsky. So let us remember Dostoevsky because this is his 200th birth years. And Dostoevsky was a Russian novelist, short story writer, essayist, and journalist of 19th century. Dostoevsky's literary work explores humans' psychology in troubled political, social, and spiritual atmospheres of 19th century Russia, and engaged with a variety of philosophical and religious themes. His most acclaimed works include Crime and Punishment, The Idiot, Brother Karamazov, and many literary critics rate him as one of the greatest psychologist novelists in the world literature. This novel is written in 1864, Notes from Underground, and it is considered to be one of the first work of existentialist literature. Today, in the lockdown, our condition is also like the underground man. Basically, this novel is written in response to Chernovsky's novel, What is to be Done? What is to be Done? It was written in 1863, and Dostoevsky does not like the idea which was given in What is to be Done by Chernovsky. So in response to this idea, he wrote a novel, Notes from Underground. And interestingly, What is to be Done also written in the response to another novel, that is Turgenev's Father and Son. This was written in 1862. So I wish to underline here, especially for the students, that how the literary writing tradition. First, in 1862, written Father and Sons by Turgenev, and then Chernovsky write What is to be Done in 1863, and then in response to that, written by Dostoevsky, Notes from Underground. And I wish to underline that how they have the understanding to critique the argument of the other writer. It is not like in India that if we don't like such novel, ban it or burn the copies, or just create a fatwa for the writers. So they believe that a piece of writing, piece of literary writing is an idea, and idea cannot be killed by suppression, by subjugations, or any other means. Idea can be countered by another idea. So Turgenev wrote Father and Son, a very parallel different idea given by Chernovsky, and parallel different idea given by Notes from Underground. So Notes from Underground, written in 1864, and it is also known for representing the most melancholic and saddest character in the literature. And the protagonist in this novel is first person. He was unnamed, 40-year-old, and the novel begins with the lines that I'm a sick man, I'm a wicked man, an unattractive man. I think my liver hurts. However, I do not know a fig about my sickness, and I'm not sure but what is that hurt me. I'm not being treated and never have been taught. I respect medicine and doctors. What is more, I am also superstitious in the extreme. Well, at least enough to respect medicine. And in the novel, it was written that to be too conscious is an illness. So at every phase of history of human existence, and the creative and sensitive human beings, they suffer from loneliness, isolation, and displacement. And he wrote, I believe in it, I answer for it, for the whole work of man really seems to consist in nothing but providing to himself every minute that he is a man and not a piano key. So he was against the mechanical way of life, that life is not a mathematical formula, 2 + 2 is equal to 4, rather much more than that. So in that the mathematical and mechanical formula which is given by Chernovsky in his novel What is to be Done, he critiques in this novel. So this novel is very relevant, and especially in the time of lockdown, and as I told you earlier, that our condition was also like the the underground man. Second text I wish to discuss, share with you, that you might be familiar, that is Life Misspent by Suryakant Tripathi Nirala. And you all know that Suryakant Tripathi Nirala is an avant-garde in modernism in Hindi literature. He is versatile personality, and he was a poet, essayist, short story writer, and a novelist, and a very wonderful human being. And Nirala, in his memoir Kuli Bhat, which is written in 1938, and it was translated into English by Professor Sati Khanna from Duke University as a life misspent. And he lost his whole life, whole family members in 1918, and that is the Spanish influenza, and it killed 6% of total population of India. More than 17 million people, they died in 1918 to 1920, 100 years before, due to this pandemic. And Nirala wrote, and he depicts the very horrible, terrible situation of that times. The Ganga was swollen with dead bodies. I learned that my wife has passed away. I saw my cousin's corpse. Sister-in-law passed away. The nursing child was sick. She too passed away. Then uncle died. My family disappeared in the blink of an eye. All our sharecroppers, laborers died. So the impression of this appalling pandemic is conspicuously visible in the whole discourse by Suryakant Tripathi Nirala. I'm leaving such part due to time. Third text I wish to discuss with you, that is So All Is Peace. That is written by Vandana Lal Singh in 2019. Last year it was published, and this was also a very disturbing novel, which exposes the duality, double standard, hypocrisy of the metropolitan upper middle class people. Basically, this novel is a story about the two sisters, twin sisters, in their 20s, who locked themselves for 6 months, and they were starving, even so much so that they do not have water, and they were living in the gated colony resided by the upper middle class in Delhi. This novel is basically based on the true incident which was happened in 2014. However, they have enough money because their flat was in the prime of the land of Delhi, and they have gold worth of 15 lakh. Their account was full of money, and they were not being hostaged. Then the question arises, then why? Moreover, they are highly qualified. One sister is MA in English, and second is going to complete PhD in economics from St. Stephen College. So simple logic is that we can say there may be psychological disorder behind this, but things are much more than that. But the novel indicates towards the suffocating, patriarchal, inhuman society which they could not face after the death of their parents. They do not find anybody in the gated colony or in the whole city who can support them. So they also want, because they were also human beings, they want that somebody come, somebody care for them after the death of their parents. I quote from the text, "When was the last time someone has knocked? 3 months ago, 4 months, ago, probably since Laila, basically the name of the sisters, Laila and Tanya. Probably since Laila and I had been almost nothing to eat, and we have not drunk any water for at least 2 or 3 or more days. So when they were rescued, they were admitted in the hospital. Their weight was 18 and 22 kg. So they were hoping that one day someone will come to them, and Tanya said, I want to smile and tell him, but nobody cares. The novel polemically critique capitalism, consumer culture, media, and education. So Vandana present the concept of lockdown in a different manner, different perspective. So one more difference, if we discuss between literature and history, that history, as I told earlier, that history deals with the past and with the record of events, with what has happened, but at the same time literature is futuristic in his or in its perspective. Like it is very famous saying in Hindi that yahan na pahunche kavi, yahan na pahunche Ravi, wahan pahunche kavi. So we can take the example of futuristic text that is written by Orwell, George Orwell, which we are familiar with, Animal Farm, and one more very significant novel he wrote, that is 1984. Basically, it was written in 1948, but the novelist imagines that what kind of life would be in 1984. So the title of the novel is 1984, and he assumed that the society will be like that in 1984, and it is very surprising point that almost society is same as is portrayed by George Orwell. George Orwell in this novel points out about the surveillance, that every time you will be under check, big brother is watching you. So the condition in 1984 or now is same, that every time, whether it is lecture or mobile or WhatsApp or any other social media we are using and feeling that we are empowered, especially the young people spending too much time on it, but it is also the tool of surveillance, which is indicated by Orwell in 1984 in his novel titled 1984. Another novel we can take, there are so many novels, the example we can take Brave New World, Huxley's in 1932. So he also assume that the life would be like that in that time, in future time. And T.S. Eliot also write in The Wasteland, beginning of The Wasteland, that April is the cruelest month. So in 2020 we can also take lead from April and how it was the cruelest month. And also futuristic, like we can take the example of Ramayana. In Ramayana also, it was there are some insights provided that how Ravan used Udan Katolas at that time when there were no aeroplane and nothing. That means I'm not saying in that sense that only Ramayana did all the things. The fact of the matter is that the scientists and engineers, they make aeroplane and all these things, but as the imagination of the writer and how he provide provision to make all these things, because I do not wish to create any hierarchy. Rather, I believing in dismantling any kind of hierarchies between literature and science or technique. The fact of the matter is that the work of the literature is try to provide vision, and science and engineers, they provide provision. So the literature provide vision, and the scientists and engineers, they do it. So also they take lead that it may be possible. And definitely literary text is more autonomous, timeless. Literary writer having more liberty, having more kind of freedom to express his own kind of writing. We can take the example of Amitav Ghosh, who wrote Shadow Lines, and in the Shadow Lines he talked about the partition of Bengal and how he tried to prove that cultural lines, borders, they are much stronger than the political and geographical boundaries. So in a way we can say that the literature provide us insights, leads that are pro people, and they are more beneficial in the whole humanity. So that is why this we can say that literature and literature and history, they are different, they are unique, but at the same time they are complementary, because some silence which are which are not undertaken by history can be taken by literature, and some silences which are left by the literary piece of writing, that can be undertaken by the literature. So they are complementary with each other. We do not believe in any kind of compartmentalization of all the subjects. So I begin quickly my third part of my lecture, that is literary theory. Because literary theory, this is also the time when confusion is created, that this is the end of theory, this is the post theory time, after theory time. Many books are written on that. So whether, and it is also said that the Western countries, they throw the theories into dustbin, and we are still having that. But it is also pointed out that because of theory, students, they are dropping their interest in literature. And also very interestingly and funnily, we can, when we talk about literary theory or theorists like Derrida, Lacan, Foucault, Fukuyama, so their name is like so terrible, like the name of Amrish Puri in Hindi movie. So we feel a kind of phobia towards history, but things are about literary theory, but things are not like that. Because the fact of the matter is that whenever the society grows, it becomes complicated. And when we said that literature is the representation of human behavior, so when the human society is underdeveloped, the society is simplistic. And when the society is simplistic, the literature also may be simplistic. So when from the present context, the society is highly developed, so it is complicated also. So whenever the society grows, it becomes more complex and problematic. This is the basically law of science. So when the society is complicated, then the literature of that society would also be complicated, problematic. It would be difficult to understand. If we can take example, that if we take the example of prehistoric time. In prehistoric time, we find that any piece of literature like Jingalala Hoo Hoo, simplistic, because life was simple. We were in the search of water, and we were just get water and food, and all that was the requirement. So the literature was also simple. But with the growth of time, when the life become very complicated, and similarly the literature also become complicated. So if we want to understand complex life, if we want to understand complex literature, we need certain sophisticated tools, and these kind of tools are provided by literature, literary theory. So for example, simple example, if some of the students who may be from rural area, you can take the example of your homes and from your equipments, from your tractors or from your cars, that how they were however they were very poor in technology, but they were easy to deal with. Now in every home there was a mechanic. We can use our tractors at our home, in the village workshop and like that. But nowadays the tractors, they are highly technically rich and powerful, but they are so complex. They are only cured in the agencies, in the specific workshops. Similar is the with the car. When we are having ambassadors and Fiat, it was very easy to open. Every mechanic can open it. But nowadays, when the technologically they become complex, it is very difficult. Only the specialized mechanic in a specialized workshop with specialized tool can operate it. So that is why similar is the case with literature. When your literature is complex, it is very difficult to understand. Rather, for understanding, we need specific kind of techniques. So that technique is literary theory. And when we are I'm leaving some part, when we are talking about a critical approach, or when we are talking about literature, dear students, one thing should be kept in mind, that they are written in reaction to their previous piece of writing. So when we are understanding literature, when we are understanding literary theory, basically we can understand that they are in debate with someone. For example, if we want to understand Aristotle, we have to understand Plato, because Aristotle wrote in the debate of Plato. When we try to understand post-structuralism, we have to understand structuralism. When we try to understand postmodernism, we have to understand modernism. Similarly, if we want to understand Romantic period, we have to understand new classic period. And if we want to understand modernism, we have to understand Victorian period. So they are working in debate. So whenever we study literature, literary theory, try to read them in a debate. They are not written in isolation, rather in response to each other. And one more thing in literary theory, that it is very helpful in developing our critical consciousness, critical thinking, which is the core value of education, purpose of the education. Like for example, when I say classroom is the temple of learning, anyone can understand, anyone can say that in classroom we get we learn a lot of things, so it is like a temple for us. But a student of literary theory, student of literature will not understand simply like that. He will try to understand critically that who is saying this, that the classroom is the temple of learning. If a teacher is saying that, why he is saying that or she is saying that, maybe the teacher wants to prove that this is the temple and I am the god of this place, and you cannot ask any question from the god. So we, in the light of critical theory, we understand this proposition, this in a discursive manner, in a different way. So literary theory provide us a kind of critical thinking. When we say that nowadays this is the end of theory, theory is of no use, I don't believe in any theory. Basically, it is also theory. When we say end of history, or when we say end of literary theory, this is also a theory. So also, with the help of literary theory, we pass from information to wisdom, which is the basic purpose of education, like which begin with education and end it on the wisdom, like not like some technical education, that it is merely focused on the information, or most of the education which is focused on information or applied part of the whole kind of knowledge system. Like when I say information to wisdom, I wish to say means first part is information. We begin with information, then knowledge, then wisdom. There are three phases of the whole education system. For example, if there is fire, now we know that this is fire. This is information, that fire is like that. This is information. And knowledge, when we say that fire, don't go near the fire, you can burn yourself, and this is the knowledge. And third part is that when we use that fire for cooking, to make our food tasty or to warm ourselves, so this is wisdom. So the information is that fire is, this is fire, this is information. And knowledge, that don't go near the fire, you will burn yourself, this is a kind of knowledge, and you can positively use this fire in cooking, this is wisdom. So this is the purpose of education, which we can be have through literature. We begin with the information, then with knowledge, and then with reached towards the wisdom. So I think as Deepak suggested me the time, I think it's over. And again, I humbly very thankful to you all, honorable chairpersons, faculty members, and especially Deepak, because Deepak is like a younger brother to me, and he taught me how to use all these things very laboriously, and I have taken his much time. Thank you very much, Deepak. Thank you, one and all. I would be happy if you have any question. Thank you.
Sir, it's me, Sushant Kumar Jha. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you can speak.
Hello, it's me, Sushant Kumar Jha.
Hanji, Hanji.
May I ask a question?
Hanji, Hanji.
Sir, give us 2 minutes. Yes, sir. Yes, Sushantji, give us 2 minutes.
Yes.
So thank you, Mark, for your time. Space words of Kumar.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Okay. May I ask question now? Hello. May I ask question now?
Yeah, you can wait.
Okay.
Professor Anjani Kumar. Professor Srivastava, say some words about Kumar Susil sir and his lecture. Is Professor Anjani Srivastava, are you catching me?
Yes, sir, it is now audible. You can proceed.
I think I am not reaching to Anjani Srivastava, sir. So now I will come back to Professor Arun Kumar Bhagat, HOD, Department of... Oh, yes, I think we are catching it. Yes, sir. And now you can speak.
कहाँ पे? शायद उसके अभी मोबाइल से चला रहा था।
Yes, sir. Anjani, sir, we are seeing you.
हेलो।
Yes, sir. We are catching you.
आवाज जा रही है मेरी?
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर।
जी। तो आज इस सत्र के अध्यक्ष प्रोफेसर अरुण भगत जी, आज के महत्वपूर्ण वक्ता डॉक्टर कुमार सुशील जी, इस लेक्चर सीरीज के ऑर्गेनाइजिंग सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर विमलेश जी, और आयोजन समिति और इस वेबिनार में उपस्थित प्रतिभागी मित्रों, यह सौभाग्य की बात है कि इस विषय पर हमने लेक्चर सीरीज का आयोजन किया और सफल वक्तव्य के लिए मैं डॉक्टर सुशील कुमार जी को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। उन्होंने इतने कम समय में अत्यंत सारगर्भित किया साहित्य इतिहास और साहित्य सिद्धांत। उन्होंने इशू की चर्चा करता है, लव की चर्चा करता है, हेट की चर्चा करता है, और कला के लिए और कला जीवन के लिए सोच साहित्य को देखने की बात की और कहा कि स्टेट, रिलीजन, जेंडर और कास्ट, भारतीय अगर साहित्य को देखना है तो इन चारों के फ्रेम में देखना पड़ेगा और रेसिस्टेंस या प्रतिरोध इसका मूल है। लेकिन इसको थोड़े और विस्तार से इस पर विचार करने की जरूरत है, क्योंकि बहुत सारा साहित्य भारत का ऐसा है जो श्रेष्ठ साहित्य भी है और स्टेट, रेजिमेंटेड रिलीजन, जेंडर और कास्ट के इशू को डील नहीं करता है और न ही इसमें रेसिस्टेंस, और ये श्रेष्ठ साहित्य भी है। उदाहरण के लिए उर्वशी अपने समय का सूर्य हूं मैं, अंधतम के भाल पर पावक जलाता हूं, ये जो श्रेष्ठ पंक्तियां हैं इसमें कोई प्रतिरोध नहीं। इसी तरह से श्रेष्ठ साहित्य कामायनी है, उसमें भी प्रतिरोध का ऐसा साहित्य की अगर व्यापक व्याख्या करनी हो तो इसमें ये थोड़े कम काम आ सकते हैं, इसलिए इन चीजों पर थोड़ा और विचार करने की जरूरत है। ये राम की श्रेष्ठ कविता वर्दे बिना वादिनी, राम की केवल के ख्याल से जेंडर का रेजिमेंटल रिलीजन की व्याख्या करना थोड़ा लगा, इसलिए इस पर विचार की जरूरत है। और आपने साहित्य कहा कि विजन है और बाकी चीजें प्रोविजन है, तो ये टेक्स्ट फ्रेज में अच्छी लगती है, सुंदर लगती है। तो ही प्रभावी और सुंदर वक्तव्य के लिए मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं और आयोजन समिति का आभारी हूं जिन्होंने मुझे कोचियर का अवसर दिया। आज के संकटपूर्ण समय में साहित्य जिजीविषा कि दूसरे और साहित्य के बीच अगर रेफरेंशियल और दूसरे अनुसार बोलते हैं। और हमारे वक्ता महोदय ने स्पष्ट कहा कि कोई हायरार्की दूसरे अनुसारों की, ये कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री है, एक दूसरे के पूरक है और ये पुस्तक के क्षेत्र में साहित्य की पुस्तकें इतिहास के क्षेत्र में हस्तक्षेप करती हैं, लेकिन दूसरी विधा में अलग है कि दूसरी जानकारी देती है, साहित्य उसे महसूस कराता है। व्यापक मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं आज के वक्ता डॉक्टर कुमार सुशील को, आभारी हूं। बहुत धन्यवाद।
संचालक कहाँ है? संचालक जो संचालन कार्यक्रम का जो संचालन कर रहे हैं।
या नमस्कार सर, थैंक यू अंजनी कुमार सर आपके अभिवादन के लिए। अब नाउ आई वुड लाइक प्रोफेसर अरुण कुमार भगत टू ओपन द लेक्चर फॉर क्वेश्चन आंसर। अरुण कुमार सर जी,
मुझे क्वेश्चन आंसर के लिए भी समय आपके पास होगा क्या? लगभग 12:20 होने वाले हैं।
10 हमारे पास।
क्वेश्चन आंसर के लिए समय है आपके पास? कितने बजे तक समाप्त करना है कार्यक्रम को?
सर 12:30 तक, 10 मिनट है सर हमारे पास।
ठीक।
सर अब मैं पूछ सकता हूं? हेलो हेलो,
पूछ सकते हैं सर।
जी हेलो
हेलो हेलो, हाँ जी,
हाँ सर, थैंक यू वेरी
Yes, you
मच।
can ask.
ठीक।
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your enlightening lecture. Very good. I mean, if within 1.5 hours, it's not possible to cover all of the things, but I would have liked to hear more about, say, ideology in all of these three things, then bias or commitment, whatever we say, and then place of devoiced marginal people. I think these three things are very, very important. At least a passing mention of these would have been much better. Your comments, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the question, and thank you, sir, Srivastava ji. Sushant ji, yeah, it was the time constraint that I could not touch much about ideology, commitment, but in indirect manner, which I discuss about 3 books, Notes from Underground, and The Life Misspent, and So All Is Peace. The protagonist of the novel, all the 3 novels, they are marginalized, and you know, the people who suffers the most Yeah, because of the time constraint, I could not touch
Yes,
it.
that I understand. So, please. Thank you very much.
Yes. Any other question?
Hello, sir. Submit.
मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रही है एक्चुअली.
Oh, there is network issue, sir. You can type your question if you have. Yes, any question? I think no question at all due to network issue. Now I would like to return to our chairperson and request him to us for the closing session.
ठीक है.
Professor.
महात्मा गांधी.
Thank you, sir. Now.
महात्मा गांधी केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालय मोतिहारी के अंग्रेजी विभाग द्वारा आयोजित 4 दिवसीय इस व्याख्यान माला का यह अंतिम दिन है. इस सारस्वत अनुष्ठान का आज समापन हो रहा है, पूर्णाहुति हो रही है और इस पावन अवसर पर डॉक्टर कुमार सुशील जी का पौरोहित्य हम सबको प्राप्त हुआ है. यह हम सबके लिए महत्वपूर्ण है, गौरव की बात है. आज के इस अनुष्ठान में उपस्थित उपाध्यक्ष डॉक्टर अंजनी कुमार जी, अंग्रेजी विभाग के अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर बिमलेश कुमार सिंह जी, विद्वज्जन, देवी और सज्जनों, किसी रचना अथवा कलाकृति के गुण दोष का विवेचन, उसका विश्लेषण और अंकन ही वास्तव में समालोचना के नाम से जानी जाती है. यह किसी कृति की आत्मा के साथ साक्षात्कार से उपजी सर्जनात्मक अभिव्यक्ति है. आलोचना के माध्यम से किसी कृति का परिचयात्मक विवरण, उसका उद्देश्य, उसकी प्रकृति और प्रवृत्ति को पहचानना ही समालोचना के अंतर्गत आता है. किसी रचना के मूल भाव, विषय वस्तु, कथ्य, शिल्प की जांच पड़ताल करना, उसका मूल्यांकन करना ही समीक्षा है, समालोचना है. आज उसके विभिन्न आयामों पर विस्तार से बातचीत हुई है. मैं कुमार सुशील जी को बधाई देता हूं कि आज के इस अवसर पर उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा और सारगर्भित वक्तव्य दिया है और उससे महात्मा गांधी केंद्रीय विश्वविद्यालय के विद्यार्थियों का मार्गदर्शन हुआ है. वस्तुतः किसी कलाकृति अथवा रचना की प्रक्रिया जहां जाकर समाप्त हो जाती है, वहीं से समालोचना की प्रक्रिया प्रारंभ हो जाती है. समालोचना के माध्यम से किसी रचना की विशेषताओं को तो बताया ही जाता है, उसकी विसंगतियों, उनकी कमियों और कमजोरियों का भी उल्लेख होता है. किंतु इस क्रम में उसका पूरा का पूरा उद्देश्य सकारात्मक ही होना चाहिए, सृजनात्मक ही बना रहना चाहिए. रचनात्मक लेखन के उत्तरार्ध की जो प्रक्रिया है वह आलोचना पर आकर ही समाप्त होती है. इसलिए सुप्रसिद्ध समालोचक आचार्य नलिन विलोचन शर्मा ने ठीक ही कहा है कि आलोचना कला का शेषांश है. किसी कृति से भिन्न समीक्षा का कोई आधार हो ही नहीं सकता, वह पूर्णतः विश्वसनीय हो ही नहीं सकता। वस्तुतः साक्षात्कार ये समालोचना के माध्यम से रचना के साथ तादात्म्य स्थापित करते हैं, एकाकार होते हैं, रचना की मूल अनुभूतियों को पकड़ने की, पड़ताल करने की कोशिश की जाती है। इसलिए यह कहना सर्वथा समीचीन होगा कि रचना और आलोचना एक दूसरे से जुड़ा हुआ है, मिला हुआ है। कोई भी रचना अनेक तथ्यों से, चीजों से प्रभावित होती है, इसलिए उसका प्रभाव समालोचना पर परिवर्तन का प्रभाव पड़ता है, आधुनिकता का प्रभाव पड़ता है, जीवन मूल्य का प्रभाव पड़ता है, पर्यावरण का प्रभाव पड़ता है, विभिन्न वैचारिक पृष्ठभूमि का प्रभाव पड़ता है। निष्कर्ष रूप में 5 बातें कही जा सकती हैं। पहला यह कि समालोचना स्वयं में सर्जना है, रचना है, क्रिएटिविटी है। दूसरा जो महत्वपूर्ण तथ्य है वह यह है कि समालोचना के लिए रचनात्मक प्रतिभा का होना भी उतना ही आवश्यक है। समालोचना के लिए तटस्थ होकर निरपेक्ष भाव से समीक्षक को, समालोचक को लिखना चाहिए। यानी समीक्षा कोई आरोप, प्रत्यारोप अथवा प्रतिवाद नहीं है, बल्कि इसके माध्यम से अच्छी रचना का प्रोत्साहन होता है और संकेत रूप में उसके संदर्भ में कुछ कमियां हैं, कमजोरियां हैं, तो उसका उल्लेख किया जाता है। वामपंथ के प्रभाव के कारण रचनाएं, जो आलोचना है, उसका रूप आज विभत्स हो गया है, विकृत हो गया है। पूरी 20वीं शताब्दी को अगर देखें तो लगभग 40 से 50 वर्षों तक वामपंथ का प्रभाव समालोचना पर रहा है, उसका बोलबाला रहा है, और इसलिए समालोचना करते समय उनकी उस दृष्टि के कारण भी अच्छी और श्रेष्ठ रचनाएं उभरकर सामने नहीं आई है। यह दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण स्थिति है। किसी कृति से भिन्न कोई मत अथवा स्थापना किसी रचना के लिए किसी समीक्षा के माध्यम से उपयुक्त नहीं है, वह विश्वसनीय कभी हो ही नहीं सकता है। सांस्कृतिक परिदृश्य के बगैर, सांस्कृतिक परिप्रेक्ष्य के बिना समालोचना का कोई भी अर्थ नहीं है। समालोचना को व्यवस्थित और वस्तुगत बनाने के लिए 5 उपायों का उल्लेख किया गया है कि रचनाकार के संदर्भ में पूर्वाग्रह से ग्रसित होकर कभी भी समालोचना न हो, व्यक्तिगत रुचि से मुक्त होकर समालोचना की जा सके, रचना की संरचना की परीक्षा हो, उसका मूल्यांकन हो, उसकी पड़ताल हो, रचना की मूल दृष्टि को पाने का हर संभव प्रयास समालोचना के माध्यम से हो, यह अपेक्षित है। किसी रचना को स्वायत्त वस्तु के रूप में देखे जाने की भी आवश्यकता महसूस की जा रही है। समालोचना वस्तुतः लेखक और पाठक के बीच एक ऐसी कड़ी है जिसकी अपरिहार्यता सदैव बनी रहेगी। रचना के निहितार्थ को पाठक तक पहुंचाने का शब्द विधान ही समालोचना है। समालोचना वस्तुतः युग संदर्भित सच और सांस्कृतिक दायित्व के बीच क्रिया प्रतिक्रिया करती हुई मूल्य तलाशती है। जीवन और जगत से रचना के प्रच्छन्न संबंधों की पड़ताल वस्तुतः समालोचना के ही माध्यम से होती है। आज उसके विभिन्न आयामों पर विस्तार से प्रकाश डाला गया है और मुझे लगता है कि आज का यह जो अनुष्ठान है उसकी संपूर्ति इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ किया जाना समीचीन होगा। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अपने वक्तव्य को विराम देता हूं। जय हिंद, जय भारत। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Professor Bimlesh. Department, Bimlesh Kumar sir, give your words on closing ceremony. I think due to network error, professor is not here. Now, I would like to invite Ujjwal Kumar for thanks note. Yes, Ujjwal Kumar.
Hello, sir. Am I audible first?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ujjwal, a student of English department from the Mahatma Gandhi Central University. First of all, it is a very greatest task that I have been given to conclude the session. And English department, first of all, would like to thank the audience who have been listening this series of lectures for the last 4 days. And English department would also like to thank to the students of BA, MA, and PhD who have kept their nerves down and listened all the lectures so patiently. As we know that in this lockdown, many of the people have been locked in the whole world and this is a very tough task to do that. And in this critical situation, English department has organized such a beautiful series of lecture. It's amazing, and this all credit goes to the Department of English HOD Dr. Bimlesh Kumar Singh sir and his team, Dr. Umesh Patra sir, Dr. Kalyani Hajri, Chandoba sir, and Deepak sir. Through this lecture, not only the students of English department got benefited, even the different students from the different universities and from the different departments has been benefited from these all lectures. Now, it is very important in these days for an individual to keep the mental strength maintained. So it is only I would say the literature when we see on the television or when we read in the newspaper, it is seen that many people around the world has been studying literature in these days so that they could maintain their mental balance in these days. So I'd say that literature has that kind of great power and possesses that kind of power in it. Now, my next thanks goes to the speaker of the day, Dr. Sushil Kumar, who defined the literature beautifully and explained the history of English and Bihar too. Now, the Department of English is also thankful to the chairperson, Dr. Arun Kumar Bhagat, who is the HOD of Media and Studies. My next thanks to the co-chair, Dr. Anjani Kumar Srivastav, who is the Assistant Professor of Hindi. A special thanks goes to the Dr. Deepak, who is a system analyst of Mahatma Gandhi Central University. I mean, those all kind of things like Google Meet, we have been organized, we have been connected, they have been recording all this season. It's all happened just because of Dr. Deepak. And the biggest thanks goes to our Vice Chancellor of our university, Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Sharma. And last but not the least, I would like to thank Mr. Deepak sir, who has given this opportunity to conclude the session. I mean, this is one of the hardest things to do that, but still, I wish you all the best. Thank you all. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much, everyone. It's over to Deepak sir.
Thank you, Kumar, for your thank you, Ujjwal Kumar. Now session and is over. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Chandobas Prime. Thank you, all the students and every other from different departments. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Good day.
Thank you.
Stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you, Sushil sir.
Thank
Now
you.
you disconnect your call, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You can disconnect, sir. Yeah.
I do not know where to disconnect.
The center button, sir. Center button. Yeah. Thank you.